Hey guys, Mike OLaskey here in Burbank, California at OLaskey Martial Arts. This week we're going to be doing something a little bit different. In honor of the new 300 movie coming out, we're going to do some sword and shield drills. Today we're going to be using a cold steel plastic sword here. They're very good, inexpensive, and very strong. We'll put a link in the description for you. They also have a parring shield that you can get. We don't have that, so we're using a Muay Thai pad in reverse as a shield today. One of the fun things about sword and shield work is that the shield, contrary to what most newbies would say, is not only a defensive mechanism against arrows, it's also used offensively to punch. Oftentimes it's used as an aid in parrying bladed weapons away. So we're going to use an active sword here in this particular video. Hopefully you guys can like it and have some fun. Alright guys, so the entirety of this combination is going to be broken down into a few parts here for you. The first move is we're going to defend against the overhead strike. We're just going to do a roof block. Basically think of it as like a martial arts high block with the sword. So he's going to come down on top of me and I'm going to meet that force with that high block here. Then I'm going to use the shield to parry off with that. Okay? Get that sword out of the way so that perhaps you can come back with your own strike. So the movement is you pick the sword up straight to block that, and then you take your shield from underneath and wipe that away. So your arms should be in an open fashion. So he strikes, I block with that overhead roof block, take that sword, and just bat that sword away so that you can do your own strike. Now the drill is going to go back and forth. He's going to start it, I block, I parry, then I attack him, in which he blocks and he parries. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And you guys can kind of get warmed up with this so that you understand the motion. The idea is to try to keep both of these motions in two separate moves. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So that is going to be the first of, let's say, 3 different moves that we're going to do, and then we're going to put them together. Okay, so the next movement is going to be at an angle coming at you from this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to block it, shield first as he comes in, and then we take this sword and then we hit that sword out of the way. So from the front, you're going to block it to the side, you're going to take this sword and swing it down. Okay, now this can go obviously to the arm, you want to cut off that arm. For today's exercise, we're just going to do the sword. Maybe you want to get the sword out of the way, or hit that sword hard enough to disarm him. So it hits, and you hit it down, you can bring it out so that you can come back with that angle 1 strike as well. So the drill back and forth is going to look something like this. Start off pretty slow with it as you go through, and just really get used to that motion of going back and forth with the sword blocking first, and then the shield blocking first, and then the sword moving your opponent's weapon out of the way. That is the second of the 3 moves that you're going to learn. So now the third of these motions is you're going to use your shield to do a cross-body block of your opponent's backhand strike. So he comes from across his body, and I'm going to use my shield across my body to meet that force. Taking my sword from the bottom, I'm going to hit his sword up and over my shield. When you do this, make sure you're keeping tactile pressure on this sword and keeping the shield right in front of your face. That way you don't let it down and push his sword right into your face. So the shield stays there. I come up from underneath, and I hit it up and over. That's going to generate my strike down later on. So block, and then hit up. Block, and then hit up. Block, hit up. It's also going to be good to have some good head movement here. Make sure you get that head out of the way as you strike that through. And you're going to come back with the backhand so that your partner has the ability to do that move as well. Good. So we're we're going to leave it at that. Those are the 3 different moves. Practice those, get really comfortable with it, because now we're going to put it together in a longer, more tactile drill. Alright boys and girls, this is where it's actually going to get a little bit complicated. What we're going to do now is combine all 3 of those strikes and all 3 of those defenses in one pattern. So what's going to happen is my partner is going to attack me with those 3 motions, and then I'm going to do the appropriate defense. And then we'll repost. Basically, I will come back to him, attacking all 3 times. The key to something like this is you want to start off slow, and then build momentum, if it ever works that way, because it can be pretty complicated. So, first off, he's going to start with that overhead strike, in which I'm going to block it, meeting it upwards, and batting it away. That's the first motion that we did. He comes back with the second strike, I block with the shield, hit it down, that's the second motion that we did. Then he comes back with the backhand, and I block with the shield, and I hit it up. Okay, so I've just defended 3 times, now I'm going to attack 3 times. I come down, he backs away, he blocks, hits underneath, he blocks again, comes back, now it's his strike. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. So get together, get that motion down, do it over and over and over again. It'll start to feel and really look like a combat scene when you guys are doing it. After the video, maybe we'll do it a little bit more tactile for you so that you could see it in motion. Now let's go ahead and do back and forth motion. So it's attack and defend. Okay guys, so if that wasn't complicated enough, now we're going to try to go back and forth with those actions. Meaning he's going to strike at me, I'm going to defend with one of the moves, and then immediately after my defense, I'm going to go ahead and strike back, in which case he's going to defend, going through each one of these motions back and forth. So we'll start with just the overhead hit, and it parries. Now I'm going to come back with that angle 1, he blocks with his shield, and then hits back. See how he goes through? This time, in order to set up for his backhand. This is going to make me do that crossbody shield, pop it up, leading straight into the next part of the exercise, in which now he defends the overhead, I defend the outside, and then he defends the backhand. So nice and slow, the motion looks like this. So we're going back and forth, defending each one, and attacking right after. The key to remember is this one needs to go all the way through to set up for that backhand. He does it as well to set up for that crossbody shield. Good. And there you guys have it. Those are 5 different drills that you guys can do. Settle each individual one, get used to it, go back and forth with it, and then start to put it together. As you guys get better and better, you'll get faster and faster, and we'll go ahead and show you what that might look like here after the video. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that and hope you can work something out with it. It could get kind of hairy and complicated at the end there. Trust me, there's been many times here where we had to stop and then redo it. So we're not perfect at it either. Some of the things that you want to consider is that obviously we're very close together in this respect, just to make sure that we're together on the camera and you guys can actually see everything that's happening. Also, don't be afraid to move around and get used to moving that body. We have to stay very linear to make sure that you guys understand and see everything that's going on. But other than that, guys, just have some fun with it. It can get pretty intense, and it can get almost looking like a real fight when things get down to it. So guys, share this video in honor of 300. Like and subscribe, obviously. And if you're in the Burbank, Studio City Valley area, come down and see us at OLaskeyMA. We can have some fun with sticks as well.